What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. My name is Rock Soldier, and today we're going to be reacting to the very much anticipated Money Game 3 by Ren, man. Super excited to check out this track, guys. We're going to hop right into it. Let's get it. Cool thing they did with the camera. Annual and Ren video. I thought that one was Ren. Wasn't 100% sure. Why don't you start with me, Ren? We're already 2 minutes into this fucking song, man. He ain't even said a word, man. But anytime he starts out with some shit like this, man, throwing it back to that kind of like Jenny, Screech, and Violet. This is about to go hard, man.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25.
So basically, we have this kid, right, that was raised his entire life to you know, just be smart, study hard, work hard, and try to make as much money as you can. It is pretty much been the life motto, right? Is, you know, grow up, work hard, become smart, so you know how to make money. He finally makes a good amount of money. His dad said, "Now take it all that you can." Slippery slope. You know, I mean, obviously we knew this is where this was going, right? I mean, based off of Money Game 1 and 2, We knew that this was going to be the theme of this, man, but there's still so much left of the song, man, that we're just going to have to wait and see, I guess, man, what else is going to happen.
D1 his income rockets, 22 he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list.
You know, I don't mean to pause it again, but it just dawned on me that I like how the pace of the music has picked up into almost this, like, it's spiraling out really, really quickly, right? Which, you know, it is the case, is kind of the point I think he's trying to get across, is that, you know, this chase for money and power is a very slippery slope and gets out of control really, really quickly.
23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here, son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
So, yeah, I mean, the father here is, like, completely egging this kid on, right? I mean, like, just the father doesn't know when to stop. So, you know, I wonder if it's almost like one of those things that, you know, this person was raised, you know, this way and is just doing what he was taught to do, essentially, you know? I mean, because every time he achieves something, his dad's like, yeah, it's not good enough. Go get more. Go get more power. Go get more money, more status. You know, like when is it enough? You know.
Powder and guns, 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. "35, he gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed up, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
I mean, yeah, so he has his dad basically just telling him which direction to go in his life, you know, his entire life. And then his dad dies, and it's like, you know, all these emotions and whatnot. And it's just like, where does he go from here? He doesn't have his voice of direction anymore. And so it spirals out, and he just keeps doing what his dad taught him to do, which is to keep going, keep getting more. Be relentless, be ruthless, get as much power and money, status as possible. And here we are now. I mean, he's in a fucking turf war with the cartel, paralyzed. I mean, what a story. I mean, like, you know, who thinks of these stories, man? I mean, freaking crazy. I love his storytelling. It's so good.
In his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music.
Wow, man. I knew we were gonna get this super deep turnaround, right? But I mean, it's true. I mean, like that's exactly what I was trying to allude to there. I mean, is perspective is everything. I mean, now at this point, he's 40 years old. He's paralyzed. He doesn't have his dad anymore. He doesn't have any kids or anything. So he spent his whole life chasing all this money, all this power, you know, this fame and status, right? And for what? He doesn't have anybody to share it with. He doesn't have anybody to give it to leave it behind to. I mean, he's never gonna walk again. I mean, like at the end of the day, were the sacrifices worth the reward, you know? And ultimately, I would say 99 times out of 100, the answer is no. It's not worth it. I mean, like this dude could have stopped at 18 or in his early 20s, right, with millions and had a successful, happy life, right? It's plenty enough to support your family and do what you want in life. But because of what he was taught from a young age, it's just not enough, you know? It's just not enough. I want to go back to where this starts again because I like really want to pay attention to this.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city. 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth.
I hate to pause it again, man. I'm sorry. I usually don't pause this much for anybody that's new to the channel. I'm so sorry. But that part where the orchestra is going on and stuff, and right there at the end where he says, Jimmy's story is just an exaggerated truth of me, of he and she and you. Like this is what humans do. We take more than what's sufficient, more than what we need, you know? And ultimately, I think that definitely has always been the main theme of the Money Game series, is that we as a people don't know where to stop, don't know what's enough. We take more than we need, and you know, ultimately, at the end of the day, we never realize the consequences of what's happening, because we are just programmed to just continue to take and take, and to get as much as you can, and whether that's in money or power or fame or status, like whatever it is, you know?
This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game."
Wow. Yeesh. All right, so that was Ren Money Game Part 3, and I don't think that this failed anybody's expectations, man. I mean, when he just takes the time and really does something like this, I mean, obviously the first comparison that comes to mind is High Ren, right? Just something similar in length and just super thought out, like so thought out. And as I said, man, I don't think the theme of this song was any mystery to anybody if you've listened to Money Games Part 1 and 2. You know, I mean, the capitalistic agenda that has been instilled in us as humans in terms of chasing these constructs that we have created. Money, orders, power, fame. I mean, all those things are just made up things and don't really hold any serious measure in terms of life, for the most part. And we've kind of been programmed or trained or raised, or whatever word you want to use, to continue to take and to get as much for ourselves as we can. And that's kind of what he said there at the end, that he says he doesn't really see a way forward where we continue teaching the youth that we have to chase the money, power, and fame, and that's ultimately what's going to be best for us, because it leads to this constant fight and grab over things that ultimately don't really matter, and it leads to escalations and violence, like we saw with him and the cartel, and then becoming paralyzed and whatnot. And like I said earlier, and the way he portrayed it through the music, with the pace of the music going up and spiraling out almost, is a slippery slope, man. And it's hard to tell what's enough and what's sufficient for me and mine, right? I mean, it's very easy to continue just to overtake and to chase the money, the power, and the fame and whatnot, So I thought this was super well thought out, man. Very, very well done once again, man. I just love how he takes the time to really think these things out, and how he should go about trying to explain the message to us through the video and through the lyrics, and all that good stuff, man. He does such a good job. So I definitely enjoyed this one, and hope you guys did as well. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell notification, drop on the next one. That is all I got for you guys for now. It's your boy Rock Soldier. Be great tonight. We're gonna be better tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.